Good morning, everybody, and welcome to B County Commissioners Court. I'm going to call this regular term meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, October 14th, 2025. The time is 9:11 a.m. Apologies again. We're physically located at the B County Courthouse, Commissioners Courtroom, number 110, 105 West Corpus Christi Street, Beeville, Texas 78102. That was agenda item number 1 to the call to order. Agenda item number 2 is prayer, and I did not ask anybody prior, so I'm going to ask Commissioner. Oh, wait, we have somebody?
We have a pastor.
Oh, Mr. Jemison, if you'd lead us in a brief prayer, we'd appreciate it. Thank you for accommodating our short notice.
Your gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for your presence in our lives, your Lord. Just let us feel your presence during these proceedings and just guide us and be with us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Excellent. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now the Texas Pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. Yeah. Who all gave the pledge to the Texas flag and then the Texas pledge to the U.S. flag? Thank you, gentlemen. It's again great work. We're at agenda item number 4, recognition of visitors. Do we have any visitors in the audience today who would like to identify themselves for the record? If you wish to make public comment, that agenda item will come up a little later. So this can only be has to be limited to you giving us your name. Anybody? Yes, sir.
Hector Pimentel. I work for Lavinka Equipment Company.
What company?
Lavinka.
Lavinka.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for being here this morning, and welcome, sir. Anybody else?
I'm Ron Krim from Wilson Water Supply Corporation.
How are you, sir? Mr. Krim, you said?
Yes, sir.
Nice to see you, sir. Thank you for coming in. Welcome. Anybody else? Okay, thank you all for coming. Come on back. Moving on, agenda item number 5, Commissioners Court opening remarks. I'm going to say it's Commissioner Lenny.
Sure.
All right. Was I wrong?
It's okay.
All right, it was.
That'll work.
It's been a while.
That'll work.
All right, good morning, everyone. I attended the first class of Leadership B County, and Commissioner Olivares, he's in there with me. It was an interesting first session, and looking forward to 8 more of them. So, also called Road and Bridge on some potholes, county road issues, edge work that needed to be addressed, as well as patchwork they had gotten done in Blueberry Hill, Vigo Road, Harrison Road, scraping back the grass on those 2 roads as well, and brush cutting and pickup in the same area. Also, Central Lane got boom-axed, and trash and tire pickup on Gill Ranch, and some potholes on County Road 314 were taken care of. So thank you, Road and Bridge, for all of that. Participated with registering people for the Margarita Walk downtown. That was a big turnout. There were 340 checked in, and 24 volunteers helped to do that. 10 downtown businesses were involved with the walk. It was a super successful event. Participated in the Western Week Parade. That was a really good turnout. There was over 100 entries, I understand, in the parade, so that was really, really good. And I want to thank Senator Hinojosa. I reached out to him. You know, it was always tradition that the Jets would start the parade back when, right? And so I'd asked him if he would, because it was a little late for just us normal people probably, so I asked him if he would reach out to the public relations in Kingsville, and he did. However, they had budget cuts, and they fly every other weekend, and the Western weekend was not the weekend they were flying. So he reached out to Corpus. Corpus has just got a new fleet of jets in that they do strictly formations with, and they said they would have loved to have done it, but they had no pilots available. So hopefully next year we can get that done, and it's just, everyone look forward to that. So that'd be a really cool thing to bring back. I was asked by the city to say a few words at National Night Out here on the courthouse grounds, which there was a big turnout for that again. and attended the St. James Fall Festival. And then this Thursday will be our second session of Leadership B County. So with that, I will pass to my left.
Thank you, Commissioner. I appreciate it. Judge, I'm going to bounce around quite a bit if it's all right. Just a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Absolutely.
The first thing, I had a call this morning, and they wanted me to let everybody know there's going to be a mental health chalk contest Saturday, and they invite everybody to come down and take a look at it. I had the honor a few years ago of being one of the judges. Some of the things they can do in the street between here and in front of the courthouse with chalk in a small area is absolutely fantastic. They have different age categories. I know Commissioner Farias and I were judges,
Yes,
and,
sir.
and there were some, 3 or 4 year olds, and they had this big old piece of chalk, and they were making all kind of drawings. So, and then there was one that looked like something out of a movie star had done it. I mean, it was absolutely gorgeous. It was beautiful that they just did with chalk. It's hard to believe what they can do, but they wanted me to emphasize that. But that'll be this Saturday, right out here in front of the courthouse. To tie on to Commissioner Lenny's Road and Bridge accolades, they've done some real good work on Mineral Cemetery Road. It was in pretty bad shape. They still have a little ways to go, but it's looking good. We're getting a lot of good comments on it. I met with the Pettis Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Hernandez. It's kind of an interesting thing, and it'll come up later in the agenda. Several years ago, the school board contacted me and said, we'd like for you to make the street, North Street, one way. So we brought it to the court, we made it one way. Well, then they started asking about a year ago, why is it one way? And I said, y'all asked for it to be one way. Well, we don't want it one way. I said, well, all you have to do is let us know and we'll change it back. So it's on the agenda to change it back to two-way on North Street, which is in front of the school. And they said the reason they had it one way originally was the school was under construction. And they forgot to ask us to change it back. So I've been meeting with Dr. Hernandez up there. He had a couple more issues. They're going to be putting security gates at the front of the school. They wanted to know if they could put them out in the county right away. And I said, no, sir, we can't let you do that. I said, it's a liability for the county, but we'll have the road and bridge go up there and mark where you can put them. So they've gone up there and showed them where they can put them. And then it was kind of interesting. He said, we'd like to get a light put up on North Street just for the entrance of school. I said, and we were sitting in his office. I said, sure, there's already one there. And it's one of those, yes, there is. No, there isn't. Yes, there is. No, there isn't. Yes, sir, there is. I said, I was here 2 nights ago and looked at it. I said, I tell you what, maybe I'm mistaken. Let's go look. So we went up there and he said, there is a light here. There sure is. It must be the trees. That's why we don't see it. So they're going to do some tree trimming and all. So we're accommodating what they need up there. I had met him once before. They're good folks. They're doing a good job. They got a great school. The students are doing well, so glad to work with them on that. Okay, a couple of meetings ago, I talked about a young man I met in Pawnee that was going to put a subdivision in Pawnee. He bought some land right across from the feed store, and he was telling me about all these houses he's going to put in and all that. He's going to put them in and down at Tynan in B County and San Patricia County. Well, I picked up some cattle feed this weekend, and he sold the property. He's not going to do it anymore. Because he was telling me when we were talking that he knew all the rules, and his engineer knew exactly what to do. And I said, well, have you checked with our community affairs director? Well, we don't need to. We know the rules. I said, okay, I recommend you check with community affairs because we have subdivision rules that you have to follow. Well, our engineer knows all about that. Evidently, they did some checking, but he has sold the property. So that subdivision is not going in Pawnee. So had a meeting in Mineral with quite a few folks. The leadership, B County folks, it's good that they're doing this, and we have a couple of commissioners. I'm on the steering committee. We have some value-packed trips for you guys coming up, so we kind of plan this. We sit around and we figure out what we're going to do to y'all. There's a goat involved.
I have no doubt.
Anyway, we talked some time ago about the possibility of the screwworm fly production being in B County. I got some bad news and some good news. The facility they were looking at Chase Field has been leased. The person that leased it said they're not going to do anything with it, but they wanted to lease it. I think there's something going on there about, okay, I'm going to hold the lease and maybe I can lease it to them. But we've come up with an alternative. Between Mineral and Pawnee is the old Pioneer oil and gas plant. They had a huge building, a large complex. Well, ConocoPhillips has bought out Pioneer. That is just sitting there and it's for sale. Okay, it has been looked at by the folks that are going to do the screwworm flies. They said we can use it. There's some stuff in the works. I've contacted ConocoPhillips. I'm trying to get them to donate it to the county for a tax write-off. They may or may not do that. And if they donate it to the county, then we could turn around with the permission of the court, maybe lease it back to the people that are going to do the screw-worm flies. It's kind of in the works. They were pretty excited when they saw it. They said they could produce the flies, let's call it in Pawnee, truck them to Chase Field and load them on the airplanes and fly them out of Chase Field. So it's still viable, it's still in the works, it hasn't died, so it could happen. Attended a reception for a new medical student for B County. There's a process and a procedure that's utilized where a medical student will come to B County and spend 2 or 3 weeks in B County, meeting the commissioners, coming to court, meeting the hospital folks, one thing and another, hoping that we'll wind up with a new surgeon here or a new doctor. We had a reception for one of those folks here about a week ago. With that, Judge, I will pass, and I got a contact from Mr. Krim and El Oso. They're looking for money to help replace a 6-inch water line that serves B County. I think he's going to talk to us during public comment. We can't interact with you in public comment, so I'll talk about it a little bit now. They want us to see if we can find some money for them in one of the grants that we were able to get and administer it, but he will tell us more about it when he gets up to talk.
Sounds good, thank you.
So I will pass to my left, sir. Thank you.
All right, it's been a busy 2 weeks. First, I attended the Texas District and Retirement Conference with some of the venture capitalists, some of the people that we put our money into, and our money is doing very, very well here in our retirement system. We're still number 2 in the nation. We're doing great. So our money is, all the employees' money is making money. Second, I participated in the Western Week Parade. It was very well attended. And I also went out to the expo grounds, and they were doing real well. I got to go see the, I guess, the opening part of the parade. We want to thank the VFW for their presentation of the colors. Thank you so much. That was real good.
Okay.
And want to congratulate all the young ladies that took part in the pageant. They worked real hard to complete the fundraiser for the scholarships, and they did a really great job. So they performed out there, got to watch that. So thank you so much to them. Also saw the entrance of the pavilion bathrooms out there at the expo was a pretty bad safety issue, so got our maintenance department to fix ramps for both entrances, the men's and the ladies, and they're going to pour those in concrete this morning. So that's going on right now. Also attended a ribbon cutting at the EOC, and that was well attended. We thank all the people that came out, Tatum and all of Mr. Willow's bosses and everybody came down for that. That was really nice. And all the folks that were out there for the ribbon cutting. If you haven't gone out there to see our new EOC, our Emergency Operations Center, please make an appointment or call up there. Mr. Jimmonson's office is there, so is Ryan Garza and Rob Reyes, and go see that facility. Attended the National Night Out, and that was also very well attended. We thank all the law enforcement agencies that participated. Everybody was there. It was a really nice event for that evening. So, and attended the meeting with the city of Beeville at the Emergency Operations Center with all the local officials. That included the schools, private schools, the college, nursing homes, all the fire departments. It was preparing for the upcoming water issues that we have here, and preparing also for the stage 4 water restrictions that are going to go on. Attended the Halo Flight, the 38-year anniversary. We also want to thank Halo Flight for being here, B County, for 38 years of service here. They're really come along. They got a new hangar out there, 2 helicopters. It's a nice facility, and we thank them for being here. Okay, the courthouse boiler update. We had a brand new boiler that we installed here at the courthouse. It's 90% complete. We have 3 remaining parts that are ordered and they should be here. They're just superficial parts, but it should be done by Thursday. So this winter, we won't have to close any days or be in here in our coats or the courtrooms, Judge, and have them nice and warm for everybody. So that's.
Closed because it's cold?
Huh?
Closed just because it's cold?
Well, it just makes it a little uncomfortable for some of the courts that are being held there, but, no, we're gonna get that boiler going, so it's gonna be brand new from top to bottom, all the way to Judge's office.
Sure.
Yeah. Had several meetings with Chief Kirk from the Sheriff's Office, with the contractors, and that's for the the Sheriff's Office water storage tank. And we have an item on the agenda today to move forward with that. And also, all of 3 out of the 4 vendors are local vendors, so we always try to support our local vendors, you know, as far as that goes. They're taxpayers here. And meeting with the Bee Development Authority on the lift station, and on that was one of the projects that was funded by the ARPA funds to get the lift station out there. It hasn't been functioning, and we got awarded the letter for the grant, but it's on hold until the government opens back up. So we did get an approval letter, so it's checks in the mail.
Awesome.
All right? That's all I can say about that one. I got a call from Mindy Teague with the Nueces River Authority, and they're doing a needs assessment on 2 of the colonias in my area. One is the Hilltop area on the feeder road on 181, and the other one is the Country Villas on 202. And I didn't punt, I passed that to our Community Affairs Director, Bobby Jemison. He knows all the information on those, so he's handling it. Thank you so much, Mr. Jemison, I appreciate that. We also had Trooper Yannick call, our license and weights trooper, and both of our scales needed a little touch-up and repairs. He got the one on 181 working really quick, and it's up and running, so he's operating out of that. The one on 59 needs a little bit more, so it'll be done this week. And had a meeting with the Texas Jail Standards and the Advisory Board, and all the upcoming changes for the states since the legislature's over, and they had new rules that passed and everything else, so that was a marathon meeting, but I got through it. So there's a lot of changes coming up for the sheriff and their staff that are going to be forthcoming. So with that, Judge, I'm going to pass.
Wow, okay. Commissioner Olivares, what you got, sir?
So I'm going to make mine a little bit more brief because I did cover some of the same events here as our other commissioners here, but did have the opportunity last week with Commissioner Lenny and I. We attended the Chamber's Commerce Leadership class. Quite interesting. It was pretty fun. A little bit more than what I expected, so went well. And we're going to have a session every month for the next 5 months, 6 months.
8 more.
So, yeah, through April. So things are going good. I also attended the Halo ribbon cutting, which was held here locally. Pretty good event. It's really fortunate that we do have a Halo flight available to us in the event of a major medical emergency, so very, very good to have. I held a meeting with TxDOT to review some old action items, basically reviewing a lot of the status of studies that are currently being done. We got about 12 of them that are currently out there, and they're still being studied, so things are moving a little bit slow. But one of the things that we did discuss was the lighting out at 797 and 888, trying to get some lighting in that area. It is pretty dark. We've had some other incidents that occurred there that constituents are asking if anything could be done. As a minimum, they're going to install some more reflectors in that area, but we're trying to get some lighting put up there. This past week, I did attend the Skidmore Volunteer Fire Department fundraiser. I was fortunate enough, I was asked to be a judge for the brisket tasting contest, which was pretty good. A lot of good food. Good cause for the department. Also had an opportunity to meet the project manager for the solar farms that are being built in Tynan, and we went over a few safety issues that are occurring in the area, but all is going well and they're progressing well with that. I had a meeting with AEP. We actually did an on-site meeting and drove around different areas to look at lighting for safety and also security lighting. So actually pretty good. And some of the lighting that's going to go up, it's actually be minimal cost to the county, so which is a real good thing. So I'll be presenting some locations to that with at our next county commissioners court. The JP4 building upgrades are going well. They're progressing well, so we're going to have some more work done here in the next month or so to try and get that building complete. Also attended a workforce mobile unit training, which was at the JP's office. Accident Facilities, didn't realize they had that, but basically it's a big RV, and they have about 8 computers inside this mobile building to do training and help people facilitate any resume writing or whatever source they need. So it's a good program.
Also, this month here, I'll be participating again with the Barnhart Mentoring. So I do have some students that are assigned to me, so looking forward to meeting with these students. I had mentioned a while back about doing or providing some support for computer training within the county. Initially, we were going to utilize the Texas workforce. They had encouraging words. However, unfortunately, they're not going to be able to do that. So we had to drop back and punt. Fortunately, the Barnhart Library will help us accommodate that to do some training, which is going to be close by, and we're putting a synopsis together now to identify what the needs are. So from very basic to advanced on these XR trainings. So I'm going to be reaching out to the department heads to start identifying staff and then also scheduling on how that can be done. I know they've tried it once before, and hopefully we can improve the process on some of this training, which is needed. Also, TEACS is also available to assist with some of the training, so we're going to be moving forward with that. As far as the Toledo jail, the upgrades are coming along. The plumbing is roughly about 60% complete, and in the process of doing this, we got our new rebidding, if you will, back from the contractors, and some of the cost that was provided is a little bit over the top. So we're going to go back out and ask the contractors to basically do a little value engineering and determine what is really needed to get the building up and running. And this additional items that they want to add, we may have to do it later on, but I'll bring the details back to the court to see what we want to do there. But right now, the cost went above the 500 limit, and then as we're drilling down or getting some of the bids back, they're such at a high level, it's really difficult to understand what's in the bid. So I went back out to get a little bit more definition that we don't need all these additional items. So that'll be done, and all the contractors are willing to do that. They realize, yeah, we did added a few extra cameras, or yeah, we did add a couple of hardware, or we did add more stuff that we really don't need. So we're going to come back and say, hey, what is really needed to get that going? So, and there are some things that we do need to have, but I think some of the items, but that's being worked on, and I'll present that to the court here. Hopefully, I'll get all the information back this week. So that's where we stand with that. So, Judge, cut a little bit short.
Well, thank you all. And thank you for that update on the Toledo jail and your efforts to keep those costs down. We need to make our dollars stretch as much as we can. I'd just like to once again thank Commissioner Olivares for leading the charge on getting this fancy new audio-visual technology installed here in the Commissioner's Court. It may take a little bit of getting used to. I'm solely focused. I'm looking at y'all, but I'm solely focused on the little black knob at the end of this stick. I don't know how long it's going to take for me to for this to disappear from my focal point, but for now, if you see me cross-eyed, it's just a shortcoming that I have. Folks, it's getting dry. It's staying warm. Which may be good news for boiler and future courthouse closings, but it's really bad for the countryside. We will likely have on our next agenda a burn ban. It's definitely something that, just for everybody, just as a general overview, the way that we run this process in B County, albeit informal, is our volunteer fire department, fire chiefs, and our EMC get together and discuss what they're seeing out on the ground. And then the EOC makes a recommendation to the court, and we follow the EOC and our fire chiefs' recommendations. We try to be conservative. It's easy to institute a burn ban. It can be incredibly expensive, difficult, and risky to not institute a burn ban. So we'll continue to pray for rain, but until that time comes, if you're a farmer or a rancher out in the country, if you've got a burn barrel in your backyard, just know that a burn ban may be on the horizon. Last week, the city of Beeville made some public comments. They issued a disaster declaration. They raised their water emergency level to level 4. And I want everybody, all the public, to know that B County and B County Commissioners Court stands firmly behind the city of Beeville. We're here to support, to assist, and do anything that we can to provide whatever value we can as the city of Beeville navigates through this concerning situation that we find ourselves in with this persistent drought in South Texas. We have faith and confidence that they and the experts that they have retained and that whose advice and guidance they're relying upon will lead us through it, and there will be better days ahead. So in the interim, everybody please be mindful, conserve water where you can, and let's try to stay positive and encouraging to the folks at the city, because it's a very, very, very difficult situation that they find themselves in, with very few options and even less quick options. Finally, it's politics season. I'm going to go through this very quickly in the interest of full disclosure to the public. When a elected official who has more than a year and 30 days left on their term announces a bid to run for office, for a different office, under the Texas Constitution, they trigger what's called a resign to run, right? So the resign to run provision says, hey, you've announced, you've automatically resigned your current post. There's a companion Texas constitutional provision that says any elected official who resigns still holds over in that position until their replacement is named. In Texas, when it comes to elected officials within the county that do not sit at this table, the Commissioners Court makes those replacements. When it comes to my seat, when a judge resigns, the commissioners appoint a replacement. And when a commissioner resigns, whether under a resign to run statute or just of their own volition, the judge in the county in which that commissioner serves is the only person who can replace them. So, when it comes to seeing any of our commissioners, which, not to point you out, but I guess I will, Commissioner Lenny announced a candidacy for this seat earlier this month. He automatically resigned. He now serves in a holdover role. He'll serve in this role for as long, or he will serve in this role until I replace him. It's my discretion. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to me individually, and I'm happy to discuss with you current controlling precedent out of the 13th Court of Appeals. Otherwise, please understand that we do understand the Texas Constitution. We do understand the statutes of the laws of the state of Texas as it relates to this particular situation. There's nothing untoward going on. Any decision that I make is always and only going to be what is the best decision for B County. It's always going to be that, and the decision rests solely with me. So, that took a more serious context than I expected it to, but I hope everybody is clear on that point. Nobody wants to go back through? Okay, good. It's rare that I'll give them an option to do so. Moving on to agenda item number 6, public comment. Are there any members of the public who wish to address Commissioners Court? Gentlemen?
You want me to go to the podium?
We'd love for you to come up to the lectern. Yes, sir. Make sure that little green light's on
Yes, sir.
as well.
It's
I was just testing you. First of all, thank you guys for giving me the opportunity, or giving us the opportunity to be here. I work for Levinka Equipment Company. We solely have tractors, implements too as well, so we do have shredders. we're really trying to push the municipality a lot now. We've really been more into the high horsepower to the farmers in the community from here all the way to, you know, Chapman Ranch, let's be honest, San Patricio, Chapman Ranch and all that. But I got hired on. I really want to be more into the municipality end of it. So if you guys ever need quotes or let's just demo a piece of equipment, just give me a shout. My number's on there. And again, just thank you for your time. And if there's anything I can do, on that flyer, back in, I guess in the back and the front, they're the same. That will just kind of show you roughly what, from a compact tractor to mid-size horsepower tractor with the shredder, what it would kind of cost roughly on there. So, but if you guys have any questions, please give me a shout. My name is Hector. My number's on there as well. Thank you, guys.
We can't interact with you, but do you have another set you could leave with our auditor's office?
Yes.
Please.
Yeah, and I'd ask you, Hector, if you could please contact my office at some point in time today after the meeting. We may have some additional questions for you to see what sort of opportunities may exist.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
Good morning. Thank you all for your time. I really appreciate you. Thank you, Mr. DeWitt, for answering your email yesterday. You probably weren't working, but I was.
I work 24 hours, sir.
Me too, no matter what. We are Loso Water. We serve 5 counties in Texas, South Texas, B County. We're in the northern part of your county in Pawnee, Texas. We have over 900 miles of pipe. We only have 2,300 connections. So we have a lot of pipe out there. The reason I'm coming to you today is that in the Pawnee area, there's about 2.5 to 3 miles of 6-inch pipe that needs to be replaced. We have a GSI system that it started late '24. We're picking up the leaks through our mapping. So just this year, we've had 15 leaks on this line. This line serves all the way up to Three Rivers, Texas, to the Love's Truck Stop. We have ways of turning the water around, but this particular section of pipe has become very difficult. We lose, and we just talked about water. We lose about 300,000 to 600,000 gallons before we can get to these leaks because they're so remote. We rely on farmers and customers to let us know, hey, we're going to have pressure, so we go out and start looking. Anyway, we are trying to apply for the Colonia grant. This area is within 150 miles of the Mexican border, so we're looking for the max. The cost of the project is over $2 million, and it requires bores and driveways. Where the water goes, we have to bore if it's inside the right-of-way, which a lot of it's in private, but we do have to bore through their driveways too, so it costs a lot. I did meet the young man in Pawnee that you're talking about with the subdivision. Yeah, that's an interesting young man, but he's already applied for water, but I guess he already sold it, so I don't know. But anyway, I just want to come to and ask the county to apply for this grant for Loso Water, because when you have 900 miles of pipe, we're fixing a lot of leaks. We started this communication in May, and I'm just now getting the maps and everything gathered together and the engineering for this project, so.
Could you tell us your name once more?
Ron Krim.
Ron Krim. Thank you, sir.
K-R-I-M. Don't trust the C's.
Thank you, Mr. Krim.
Yes,
We
sir.
appreciate it.
Thank
Please
you.
continue to work with Commissioner DeWitt, and he can work with my office, and we'll proceed as best we can for you. Thanks for everything
I
you
certainly
guys do.
appreciate it. Thank you all very much for your time.
We probably will get in touch with Grant Works and some of the others and have them contact me directly, see what we can do.
Perfect. Thank you,
Thank you for
Commissioner.
coming, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Are there any other members of the public who wish to address Commissioners Court? Okay, moving on. Agenda item number 7. The following items are of an administrative nature. Commissioners Court has been furnished documentation on each item, and all such items may be acted upon by one vote without being discussed separately unless requested by a commissioner or county judge.
Move to approve.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes without exception. Thank you, gentlemen. It's kind of weird because I know somehow that my voice is being amplified, but I can't hear it. So I have a tendency, I want to lean in, I want to talk louder so I can hear my voice. I know a therapist would have a lot to say about that. Can y'all be my therapist today?
No.
Okay. Discuss and consider action on the following items. I'm going to rearrange the agenda a little bit this morning. I'm going to move agenda item number 19 to the top. Agenda number 19, approve purchase of Enterprise Justice Tyler Technology software and installation for the B County District Clerks, District Judges, and County Clerk's Office. We have Judge Starbauer this morning. Judge Bauer, you have the floor, ma'am. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time and your attention, Commissioners and Judge. We had thought to bring the current proposals from Tyler to the court for a vote to expend roughly $200,000 so that we could implement the Tyler Enterprise Justice system in our district clerk's office and perhaps our county clerk's office. Unfortunately, in preparing for today's presentation, I realized it was absolutely not going to be that simple. I met with Tyler Industries in September and was informed that the proposal that we received included OCA funding for the software. I then called OCA and was informed that the financing OCA had set aside for this project is running out, and that B County would be the 44th county in line. And the probability of getting that funding from OCA is, frankly, it's zero. I have requested a full freight proposal from Tyler, which I will tell you will probably triple the cost. The cost right now is $325,033. That is for the district clerk and the county clerk's office with OCA assistance. So we had proposed $200,000 at this time to get the district clerk's office by itself, which is $186,780. But as I mentioned, OCA is not going to be able to assist us in this funding, and I've been told it probably, as I have also mentioned, triple the cost. But we'll see. I do have an email into Tyler to see the full cost and also to see if Tyler has any financing options. The other piece of bad news on this is I had assumed that Tyler worked like most other companies. All you have to do is give them the money and the product will arrive. Tyler, unfortunately, is horribly backlogged. And all of this is backlogged, and we would not receive the product for 18 months. Basically, they're a year and a half behind because of the demand. The demand is a result of our legislature and their new requirements for reporting. It would appear that our legislature is very interested in beefing up their oversight authority, not only on the judiciary, which, believe me, we are really feeling, but also on counties in general. And the reports that are due into the Office of Court Administration, as well as the various administrative offices throughout our legislature, are enormous. And I don't see that declining, which is why the implementation of the Tyler system is going to be essential for B County. It is a system that will see us into the future. Our current system, referred to as our heritage system, which is iDocket, is not going to be able to keep up with the demands of our legislature. And frankly, they are not particularly responsive to the needs and demands presently. I will tell you that the district clerk's office, as well as the county clerk's office, is probably going to have to hand put in, I don't know how to say that.
Scan in.
They're just going to have to chisel in stone the current reports that are required, because we've been working with iDocket And we're just having some problems, and more than likely we'll continue to have those problems, which is why we really need to see the Tyler program implemented as soon as possible. I want to keep this in front of the Commissioners Court because my understanding is the $200,000 that I thought, or we thought, would be available at this time, because we're not using it, we can't save it. I was really hoping I could just put it in the district court's budget and sit on it. I can't. And so I want to basically just put a bug in y'all's ear at this point. It's probably not going to be $200,000. It's probably going to be closer to $800,000, if not a little more than that. And so kind of keep in mind every budget year, there needs to be a little earmark on some money because this will happen. And it's going, when it happens and it becomes absolutely necessary, it's going to be very hard to come up with $800,000 if we haven't been earmarking a little bit along the way.
Couple of questions, if I could.
Yes,
The
Commissioner.
200,000 we have now, where is it that it's going to go away?
My understanding from April is that she had found about $200,000 that we could apply to the Tyler purchase at this time.
Okay.
And I don't know if it was from reserves or if it was from other budget areas. I know, in all seriousness, the district court budget, we usually have quite a bit of our budget left over at the end of the year. And so I know some of it was from various areas and line items in our budget.
Okay, can we make a down payment with that 200,000 and spend it with them and get on their list, so to speak?
I've sent my email to Tyler asking if, I've informed them that there appears to be about $200,000 we can do now, and if they have any financing options with their company, and also to get the full freight proposal, and if we do a full, and I'm sorry to keep referring to it as a full freight proposal, but if we go that route, if that wouldn't bump us up, because the sooner we can implement the Tyler Enterprise System, the better, no doubt.
Judge,
That's
Yes, sir.
are we in compliance? I mean, using iDocket now, or is just going to be hammered in stone?
We're in compliance as best as we can be, Judge.
And that, yes, that really is the truth. We are in compliance as best we can be.
Okay.
And we are not alone. We are along with a lot of other rural counties throughout the state of Texas. We're having the same problems. The Office of Court Administration knows this. The legislature knows this. The district judges do have a meeting with the governor's office this Thursday afternoon at 4 to discuss this issue. And so I hope to come back to the Commissioners Court with the answers to some of the questions I've told you we have currently. Also, I do understand that we're still under contract with iDocket. The iDocket contract renews every May. And right now, we're not in a position to do without iDocket. I want to make that clear because I assume that chart or expense will come up in
Yes.
May. But until we are ready on Tyler, we're going to have to dance with the one that's brung us. Are there any other questions?
I think what we're saying, we'll see this on the next agenda again with some updates.
You will see this on
Maybe.
the next
Maybe.
agenda, probably for.
Several next agendas.
Yes, several next agendas. But I thought about taking it off the agenda today, but I thought, no, I want y'all to know what's coming up and see and kind of have it. Like I said, we need to start earmarking some funds. I don't think we can get away from this.
Just a quick question. I mean, I'm sure iDocket, hearing on a sideline here some of the challenges with iDocket, and I know they have to be aware of their own challenges. Have they made any effort to come in and say, county, we can improve our process or procedures or our program to assist?
They have made some efforts. I don't want to discount that. But the programming, I don't think I don't know enough about computers to really answer your question knowingly. I can just tell you what happens is we send in the ticket, we tell them here's the problem, they tell us it's fixed, we run the report, it's not fixed, and then there's another problem. It's a different problem. and it's just it's just continued to be that way. When I spoke with OCA, they asked who our current program was, and when I told them, they were alarmed for us. And so I said, would that bump us up any farther? And I was told by Mr. Greeno, no, but I see your need. And so, yeah, I really don't think that iDocket is capable of complying with the current with their program, with the requirements the legislature has imposed on us.
Good, thank you.
Yes. Any other questions?
I don't believe so. Thank you so much,
All right.
Judge
Well,
Bauer.
thank you, and if I may be excused.
Of course you may.
All right.
As Judge Bauer's walking out, I'll say B County and the 4 other districts we share with our 3 district judges are incredibly fortunate to have the judges that we have in our region. Their efforts on the bench are matched by their efforts off of the bench. And not to paint too sharp a picture, but what district judges do, our district judges do, is they cover 5 entire counties. So you'll see them in different counties most every day of the week. The new legislative laws and the new legislative focus over the last couple sessions on runaway judges and whatever else it is that they in their experience have identified as something that needs to be addressed, probably largely stemming from our more urban counties, creates a weird conundrum for conservatives and Republicans in the state that truly, I believe, viscerally values our rural way of life and small communities. And the end result is you have state laws that are being passed down that are putting additional reporting requirements, technological reporting requirements. The laws are made without a clear idea of exactly how your rural counties are going to comply with those laws. And so it's not a B County thing, it's the vast majority of the 254 counties in the state of Texas thing. This is a very, very serious issue, and it's something that we ought to think about more seriously, maybe when we're talking to our state legislators who are trying to protect us, the public, from runaway district judges, when in effect what they are doing is they're creating red tape and bureaucracy that is so overwhelming and suffocating that it's making it increasingly difficult for our district judges to do the very thing that we have placed our trust in them to do, which is to handle our criminal cases, our felony criminal cases, all of our family cases, child service, CPS cases, all of our civil cases, extraordinary writs. The amount of work that they have to do is just being layered and layered upon with additional reporting requirements sent to some amorphous state agency to make sure that they are, in fact, doing it correctly. These are district judges, these are lawyers, these are people who have taken an oath. These are folks who all hold a law license, which means when they make a mistake, they may not only lose their politician's seat, they may lose their very right to practice law in the state of Texas. At some point in time, our state legislators should learn the very simple lesson that when the people put individuals such as Judge Bauer into the position that she's in, there goes with it a level of trust that we should be entitled and we can rely upon. That Judge Bauer and all of our other rural district judges in the state of Texas are going to do their best effort to execute their obligations, the ones that actually matter, not the ones that they report back to government official in Austin who's looking to check a box to satisfy some state legislator from Harris County or Travis County or whatever county they come from. So I'd like to, not to get off my soapbox, and I'll say thank you again, Judge. I mean it when I say we've got great district judges. They work very hard. Our auditor's office can tell you just how involved they are, just how knowledgeable and focused they are on not only continuing to execute their obligations, but continuing to advance the needs of the other departments that serve our district courts, our district clerk's office primarily. They do a lot of work off the bench that we never see. So I guess my bottom line is thank you, Judge. We're here for you. Anything that we can figure out, working with April in the auditor's office to find a way to start storing money, preparing for this future inevitability, coming up with a layaway plan or a down payment, we're going to do. So anything you need from us, please let us know. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge and Commissioners. It's an honor to serve.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll take no action on agenda item number 19. Agenda item number 8, approve mutual aid agreement between Rural Economic Assistance League, Inc., REAL, Transportation, and B County.
I think we have Mr. Benavides here from Real.
Come on up, sir.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners, for having me today. I just wanted to thank you for considering the proposal of a mutual aid agreement between Real Transportation and B County to support transportation evacuations during emergency events. This agreement would formalize our ability to assist one another during times of crisis by enabling the coordinated sharing of transportation resources, personnel, and logistical support. A recent example is in 2024 when Aransas County reached out to us. They were hit by a hurricane and needed help moving residents. That successful coordination, I think, prompted us to try to work with all of the other counties that we serve to put agreements in place so that we can work together to help evacuate residents, whether it be hurricane, gas leak, flood, wildfire, particularly with those individuals with disabilities and limited mobility. So again, I just want to thank you for considering the mutual aid agreement with Real Transportation. Thank you.
Let me make a motion to approve so we can discuss.
I have a
Second.
motion. Do I have a second? I have a second. Further discussion? Commissioner DeWitt, you
Yes,
have the
Mr.
floor.
Benavides, we need to be sure that you get with our emergency management coordinator, Mr. Ryan Garza. We'll get him a copy of this contract. But what you're doing dovetails exactly into what Judge Morrill has tasked me with, if you would. Major disaster in B County, how do we get rid of debris, one thing and another. This dovetails in with that on how we take care of the people. So I really appreciate you guys bringing that to us. I've read it. It is well worded. The only thing, we don't have a
Thank you.
B
I was
County
gonna
Judge
say
pro
that too.
tem, so to strike that off, we can't afford one, if you would. But this is an excellent contract. We look forward to working with y'all, but we'll make sure that Ryan Garza gets this and gets in touch with y'all. And if you've got a business card you could leave
Yes, sir.
us to give to Mr. Garza, I would appreciate it, sir. Thank you, Judge.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Commissioner DeWitt. We appreciate everything Real Transportation does in our county and the strong working connection that we have with y'all. Any further discussion?
One other thing,
Yes, sir.
Okay.
many years ago, we did an evacuation in B County, and we thought we knew what we were doing. We had everything set in place, the buses and everything else, except we had no drivers. The school buses were going to be used. We were going to evacuate the nursing homes. I forget what hurricane it was. They were going to San Antonio. We were going to put bands on them. We clocked them in and all. But all the drivers were gone.
Right.
No one could drive the equipment. So that's what I saw when I saw this. You guys have the people to do this, and it'll work.
Yes, sir.
It didn't work the last time. I was in community affairs then, and it didn't work. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Excellent. Thank you. Good, great comments. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? With that one change, of course, motion carries without exception. Thank you. Agenda item number 9, transportation update from Real Transportation. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you again for giving me time to speak on this. I just wanted to update you guys. It looks like we launched our flash service here March 3rd. Our flash service is same-day service for your residents that runs between 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. One thing we were also to do is expand our service hours from 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. Rest assured, I'm working hard to get familiar with the residents of B County to see how they use this service and how we can improve this service. One good example of that is Friday, I spent time with one of your county residents, Elizabeth Lytle. She's a wonderful young lady who uses our service every day to get to Coastal Bend College. She is autistic and counts on us every day to take her to school. The thing that touched me the most when I was talking with Elizabeth was I asked her what it meant to ride the bus, and her answer was, "It makes me feel less disabled." And I think that is exactly why taking down these transportation barriers are important for residents like Elizabeth Lytle that just want to go to school and just don't have a way to get there. And that's where we can step in and help those residents. And so rest assured, I'm communicating with your residents. I want to keep the dialogue going with them because I'm all about improving the lives of people just like Ms. Lytle, improving the lives of the residents here in B County. So rest assured, you have a partner in me. If there's ever anything you think we can do to improve our service or make it better, reach out, and I will work hard to make that happen for you guys because people of South Texas are important to me. I just moved down here to be closer with my family. So finding ways to do that is important to me. So it looks like I have great partners here in you guys to make that happen, and I'm looking forward to really working with you folks.
Mr. Benavides, if I could, if you'll repeat your name again and the phone number people can call, if you repeat that phone number twice.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of people that watch this podcast, if you would, and this is great information. And do they call this number? What is this number?
The number you can reach me is 361-668-3158. And again, my name is Joel Benavides. I'm a mobility manager with Real Transportation. And like I said, I'll work hard to help you guys accomplish your goals here in B County.
And that number again was 361-668-3158.
Yes, sir.
Do not hesitate to call these folks. They're here for you.
That's right.
Excellent job. Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Mr.
Thank you.
Benavides, for that update. Any further discussion? We'll move on. Thank you again,
Thank
sir. Agenda item, and if you don't have anything else on the agenda and you'd like to leave, you're more than welcome to. We're not going to hold it against you at all.
I like local government, so if you don't mind, I'd like to.
We'd love for you to stay. Thank you.
Awesome.
Great answer. Agenda item number 10, approve Regional Public Defender Services annual contract between B County and the Texas Rio Grande Public Defender. I'm going to ask for a motion to table this until our next agenda.
Move to table.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second to table this until 27th. That's the next agenda. Till October 27th, 2025. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Thank you, gentlemen. My apologies for not being ready on that agenda item today. Agenda item number 11, approve submission of application to the Texas Indigent Defense Commission for the fiscal year 2026 Formula Grant Program.
Is this just
Yes, this is
Board
housekeeping. We move forward on
move
this
to
one.
approve?
Second.
I've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Thank you, gentlemen. Agenda item number 12, approve First Amendment to sign location lease agreement between Lamar Advantage Outdoor Company, LP, and B County.
Judge, could I give some history on this before we make a motion?
Yes, sir, you may.
This sign is located at the old yard property over near, what is that? Jackson Street. Many years ago, as a commissioner, as you drive by that property, I kept looking at this sign thinking, that sign's on our property. And I checked with the other commissioner, no, it's not. I said, well, I think it is. I said, let's do a survey and see exactly where it is. When they did the survey, it was indeed on our property. And it's one right at the corner. It's galvanized. It goes up. It's a nice signpost. And then you start thinking, okay, who's getting the money for this sign? Well, it took a lot of tracking backwards to find out even who had the sign. It was a company in Victoria. I contacted them, they said, no, it's not on your property, it's somebody else. I said, no, sir, it's not. It's not highway department, it's on county property. The guy said, no. I said, I'll tell you what, why don't you come over, we'll meet on site, and I'll show you the survey stakes. So he comes over and he says, you know what? That is on your property. He said, we want at least 3 foot around the post. I said, no, sir, we need to talk. I said, we want to start getting the revenue for the sign. He said, we pay it every year. I said, that's fine. Who you paying it to? He wouldn't tell me. I have some suspicions, but that's another story. So we made an agreement with them, and he said, well, what are you going to do if we don't? I said, you can take the sign out. I said, it's on our property illegally. Well, we can't do that. He said, it's too expensive. He said, probably cost $40,000, $50,000 to put it back because of the type of sign it is and all this. I said, that's fine. So we have before us, Judge, the contract now that, for said sign that is on our property, and it's a 10-year contract, and I see what they're wanting to pay, and I think it's light. Because it's one of those things that they're saying they're going to give us this good deal for $2,000 a year, and they're going to increase it to, no, $1,000 a
yeah.
year, $1,250 beginning the 5th year of the lease. Judge, I implore the court, we need to charge quite a bit more, because if they don't pay it, what are they going to do, move the sign out? So I want to make a motion that we charge at least $2,000 a year with an upgrade of $200 per year for the time of the lease. That's my motion. If y'all want to increase that or decrease it, I don't have a whole lot of, I'm not going to say it. It's a sign company, and they didn't want to work with us at first because they said it wasn't on our property. So now we're in the driver's seat, gentlemen.
Is the dollar amount you're proposing, is that a fairly good number? I'm not familiar as far as.
Well, they offered us $1,000 or so. What do they get to lease the sign? When you lease the sign at the top, it's so much a month or so much a year, and it's several $1,000s.
And we do have a pending motion. Was that a motion, or was
That
that
was a
an
motion.
indication that you were going to make a motion?
That was a motion.
Okay. So do we have a second?
Second.
I've got a second. Okay. I would recommend, it's kind of funny, right? We got a motion and a second. My recommendation is to withdraw the motion and the second, and to just reject the contract and allow them to come back to us, and we can enter into negotiations and see what gives
Okay.
us a little bit.
I agree. I will withdraw my motion and
I would draw my second.
and advise that we contact the company and have them contact the county judge's office and go into negotiation with the county judge, and the county judge can bring it back to the court.
Okay, so we can take no action.
Take no
That
action.
might be
That is
less
correct. Take no
harsh
action.
than a rejection.
It's just that I think it's very light after what I went through with that bunch before, and we're in the driver's seat. It's on our property without our permission originally. We'll go from there.
Lamar, get in touch with the county judge's office. Thank you
Yes.
very much. We'll take no action on agenda item number 12. Moving on, agenda item number 13. Approve potential action on game rooms located within the county that are in violation of B County order regarding requirements for 8-liners that requires a 1,000-foot separation distance from school district-owned property or church-owned property. Mr. Jemison, you're here today. Community Affairs Director, you have the floor, sir.
Judge, Commissioners, this came about from a complaint from an individual that was complaining about game rooms that are in violation of the county orders. In the packet, you have a copy of the county orders, which stipulates and specifies what that distance requirement is from church-owned property and school-owned property is 1,000 feet. Also in the packet that you have, you'll notice the spreadsheet that lists all of the currently permitted game or establishments that have amusement games on the premises. There are 17. Out of the 17, there's 7 that are in violation of the county order. I will make a correction to one of them. I was in one of their establishments Friday, and they have removed the game rooms. That is number 5. Their games are no longer in that establishment or in that building. So really what's before the court this morning is we need to, obviously, I'm asking for direction from the Commissioners Court to how you want to proceed with these establishments that are in violation of our game room order.
Judge, if you would, I'll make a motion to enforce the order, and with a caveat that through no fault of their own, this is something that we should have caught in the previous community affairs directors, and we did not. I was involved in writing this order back in 2014. The county attorney did review it. But to give them a little leeway, the way I would couch this in my motion is that we do enforce the order, but it goes through December 31st, and we just do not renew their permits. In other words, they can continue to operate while they're looking for a place to go. It gives them about 60 days.
I've got a motion. Do I have a second?
I have a second with comment.
I have a second. Commissioner Oliveros, you have the floor.
So, thank you, Commissioner DeWitt. Understanding, where that number comes from, did a little bit of research and looked at the Constitution to see what it states there. Unfortunately, there is no prescribed distance from churches or schools on how far it needs to be. They leave that primarily up to the Commissioners Court to come up with that number. In doing so, and doing some of my research, there's a wide range as far as what that distance could be, anything from 300 feet to 1,500 feet. So it grows. The question is, what is the right distance, and what is the impact back to the county? So the 1,000 feet, I think, is a reasonable distance amount. I think if it needs to be decreased or increased, probably needs to hold a little bit further discussion, or at least to do some case studies, say, hey, what are these other counties are doing? And, thanks to the computer and a little bit of research, there are other counties that have minimized 300 feet, and then others that seem like the norm is more like 1,500 feet. So that seems to be more of the norm. But I think that would require a little bit more discussion as far as what is the right number for that. But it is part of our ordinance, and I think we should enforce it. I know it's probably not a popular decision, but I think overall, if we have rules and laws, we need to abide by them.
Yes, sir.
Any further discussion? I only take issue with one thing that you said.
Yes, sir.
You said through no fault of their own. Folks, if you are a citizen of Texas or the United States and you break a law, is it a defense to say, I didn't know? No, ignorance is not a defense. This ordinance was passed by public vote at this Commissioner's Court. This ordinance is a publicly available document available here in B County.
I stand corrected, Judge. Thank you.
But y'all are really going to have to rein me in getting on my soapbox today. I do really like this. I haven't even touched it yet. However, I don't disagree with you as far as extending the olive branch, giving them a little bit of time in which to figure out what they're going to do moving forward. So I appreciate that. I just had that one legal issue. It was through their fault. It was their fault. It's not our fault. It's our fault as well
Yes.
for not enforcing it.
That is correct.
But it's certainly their fault for failing to understand all of the rules and regulations that apply to game rooms in B County. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I have one question.
Yes, sir.
How about residential people that I have, there was a person in Tynan was talking to me about there's a new game room opening up, and it's literally in the front yard of this man's house, and he's worried that he had a friend of his, that same situation, and said, I constantly had trash, I had drunk people in my front yard coming from the game room. So is there anything to do with not just the church and school, but as a resident as well?
Nothing restricting
not in
any
the
sort of
current order,
residence.
no.
Because we don't have zoning out in the county. That's the
My
situation.
suggestion to that would be contact the sheriff's office and file an official complaint.
Yeah, I've spoken to Sheriff Aguirre about that one.
What was interesting, when we passed this in 2014, I remember Commissioner Haggard and I worked on this real hard with the county attorney, and there was a new game room going to open up in Skidmore. And we passed this, and the game room people were here, and we were thinking about this $500 per machine, and when they walked out, they were raided that night, and all the machines were taken, and we said we should have gotten the $500 before we left. Anyway, this is some history.
Thank you, Mr. Jemison, for bringing this to our attention. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Agenda item number 14, set public hearing date pursuant to Texas Transportation Code, Chapter 253, entitled County Improvement of Subdivision Roads, Vernon, 2003, to consider designating North Street in Pettis as a two-way street.
Judge, this is the one we talked about earlier that I met with the superintendent on. And when would be the public hearing date, madam? We have to have, what, at least 30 days?
Yes.
Because it has to be in the newspaper? Yes.
Let's do mid-November, maybe. What's it?
The 10th, November 10th?
That's just right at 30 days.
Then it goes to the 24th.
Today's Monday,
We can go to
so we'd have to
24th.
get the notice in next week.
Yeah. Go to 24th.
Yeah, let's go to the next one. When's the 24th?
24th.
Is that what you were saying too?
Yes, sir. November 24th?
Oh, thank you, because I said Monday.
Uh,
Is it the 24th?
Yes.
The 24th is the next Monday, but do we have one on the 20th?
Bear with us. We've got to get this right.
Even if you got it in there today, it wouldn't make
Right, it
the
wouldn't
first
make it.
meeting. It would have to be the 24th.
Okay, so we're looking at a public hearing date of 10 a.m., November 24th, 2025.
Just making sure that we have an
A meeting,
A meeting?
meeting scheduled November.
November 24th.
Yes, we only have the one in November, that's what I thought, so the next one will be December 8th.
December 8th.
Yes,
And
we
then
don't
there's
have a
only
special
one
meeting
in December,
November
too.
or
So then the
December.
next one will be the one we.
Wait, we don't have one in, oh yeah,
We
December
have
8th.
November 10th. Yes, sir, as the regular, we don't have a special in November, we only have the regular in November and December.
I can fix that.
So,
So Dec-
hey, that'll
December
work.
8th.
So.
December 8th, yeah. let's just-
December
Or
8th.
De-
let's just set it
December
for
8th?
that. Let's just set it for December 8th.
Okay, we're going to go for December 8th at 10 a.m. for the public hearing on the improvement of subdivision roads, making North Street and Pettis a two-way street.
I've got a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you all.
Agenda item number 15, approved to update selected B County safety security lights from high-pressure sodium lights to LED lights. Is this you, Commissioner
Yes, sir, it's
DeWitt?
me again.
You have
yes.
the floor, sir.
Thank you, Judge. What we did, we started in 2018, and I made it part of the agenda item in your packet, when we started the safety and security lighting system for B County. We currently have probably close to 200 lights around the county that we put up at dangerous intersection, curves, that sort of thing. The original lights were high-pressure sodium. They had an orange glow. The new lights, and Commissioner Oliveris has got a bunch of these put in, are the LED lights. They're like 3 and 4 and 5 times brighter. And what I would like to do, we have some very dangerous situations on Highway 181 between here and Pettis, and I want to upgrade those, and we've already contacted AEP. It's going to cost about $140 a piece to do it, from high-pressure sodium to LED. And I'll read, if I could read the list.
Please.
We're looking at Farm to Market 2824 intersection at State Highway 181 Business, just north of Beeville. There's 2 lights there. Those are very important in that curve. There's a lot of people travel 2824. The next one is West King Lane, an intersection with State Highway 181 just north of Normanna. Then the Farm to Market 1465 and State Highway 181 near Toledo. The next one is Farm to Market 623, an intersection with State Highway 181 in Pettis near the Dairy Queen. There's a huge light right there that illuminates that whole intersection. There have been numerous accidents, so this is very important to upgrade that one to the LED. The next one is intersection of North Street. That's a main Pettis school student and school bus route with State Highway 181. We've got one where North Street goes into 181. We want to upgrade that to LED. And then at the Pettis Community Center, one light, the Pettis Community Center, Pettis Fire Department staging areas, intersection with Farm to Market 623. And these 7 light upgrades will improve safety and security for citizens, visitors, and travelers passing through B County on heavily traveled roadways. Estimated cost is around $1,000, and AEP requires payment. I've been working very closely with Ben Ramirez in the auditor's office. He's done a fantastic job, Judge, he really has.
Right.
And I would make a motion to the court to allow these 7 upgrades to be in effect.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception.
Thank you, gentlemen, I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. Agenda item number 16, approved brush disposal lease agreement on County Road CR 205 between B County and Emmett Carpenter for the Road and Bridge Department. I'm going to step away from the,
That'll-
yeah, if you take over for a
And
second.
that'll be mine.
Okay, so I'm going to give you the floor, and then I'm going to give you the reins until I return in
All
just a
right,
moment.
sir.
Thank you.
You read it into the record, right?
Yes.
Okay. What this is, the land has been totally deeded over to the Carpenters. One thing that I want to talk about in this contract, these contracts are for 2 years. We have several of them around the court. The basic contract is $100 a month, paid monthly. And what I'm going to recommend to the court, that we change that to $200 a month. I've been on the court for many, many years, and it's always been $100. And these people, taxes have gone up. They did not ask for this. This is something I'm looking at around the county. We're not paying them enough for what they're, the service that they're giving the county. And these are good people, they're civic-minded people, and I think the least we can do is pay them a little bit more. So my recommendation is to alter this contract to $200 a month, and then I want to pay them once a year instead of once a month. Why should we issue a check every month and go to the expense of the processing the check and this sort of thing? Issue them a check at the beginning of each contract year for the entire year and be done with it.
In advance.
In
Yeah, that
advance,
makes sense.
yes. So that's my motion, to increase this, to approve this, increase it to $200 a month, and issue one check at the beginning of the contract each year in advance. That's my motion.
Second your motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion, gentlemen? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. It's unanimous, with the exception of the judge who's not here. Thank you very much. I really believe we need to do this for these folks. All right. Number 17, approve installation of potable water storage tanks at the Emergency Operations Center and the Sheriff's Office. Sheriff's Office is up, or,
Chief Kirk,
go ahead,
Chief
please.
Kirk and I have been working on this, if he wants to come up and you've got any questions for him. We've already approved this, but I wanted to bring it back
Yeah.
to the court with the numbers that we have and the vendors. So we've already got a complete.
It looks good.
All four pieces of the puzzle are put together. Chief Kirk's been working really hard on this. We've had lots of meetings with different vendors, tank, foundation, plumber, and electrical, four pieces to it,
And you got it pretty much turnkeyed now, don't you?
pretty much. But Chief, you want to take over?
Well, yeah, Commissioners, I think you've probably all seen your packets. The only thing
Yes.
that's not in your packet is we got an estimate in from Scott Electric for the electrical work on that, and I got that email in yesterday. And the cost on that is $2,100 even for the electrical work. That would be the only addition to what's already in your packet.
So for the rest of the judge and commissioners, that is still within budget for the sheriff's office. And then we expect to mirror that same project over to the Emergency Operations Center. And that will be hot funds, since it's for that location there. So we're within budget, and then with some of the remaining budget money there, we don't want to take the water from the city. We want to buy some water to start off and put in those tanks. And I think we've already got, Mr. Garza's already given us a couple of vendors.
We've got one vendor right now, and I'll work on some more.
Okay, that we can, instead of putting 50,000 gallons of water in that storage tank all at one time, we can
Yeah.
buy and it's still within budget. So I'm asking to move forward on this project and get the blessing of the court.
Would you mind putting the numbers out, that we can put them in the record, what it's going to cost,
I can do that.
please?
So for the tank installation, let me back that up. In your packet, you'll have the timeline of the different companies that were asked for bids and such. So the bids that we did receive for the tank installation itself from Skywells out of Hunt, Texas, that final number, it was $47,927, $47,927. Let's see, for the tank base, the concrete tank base with local contractor MB Construction, that tank base with footers and packed with sand was $15,970. Let's see, the plumbing bid for the plumbing work, including a jet pump to bring it into the facility, was a total of $19,800. And then, as I mentioned, the bid from Scott Electric, which is the only electrical bid I have in hand right now, was $2,100 even.
And Chief, if I could, once that's done, we have an emergency, we have no water, we can cut the valve off on the other side of the EOC and pipe this water in and be done.
Well,
I'm talking about
I don't have the infrastructure details
No,
about the
I'm
EOC, but
talking
what I
about-
can tell you at the sheriff's office
I
is we would
misspoke.
cut off the city water.
I misspoke.
Right.
Cut it off and turn the valve off and turn this on, you guys are good to go.
Yes, sir.
Good.
And pressured up.
That's the
pressurized.
project goal.
Good.
Yes.
And one of the reasons I'm gonna just interject here on that plumbing bid, that's a 3-phase jet pump to pressure up that whole location. So,
Oh, my goodness.
I kind of questioned that right off the bat, and then Stellar goes, wait, it's a 3-phase. This is a big building, or big, 2 buildings
Yeah.
to pressure up and keep going for 4 days. It's also got the ability on the tank to come in with another, it's got a connection. We can buy several tankers of potable water. We're still in that situation.
Good.
Hook it up to there,
Like HEB does.
like HEB does, and pressure it up. And then we
Good.
also got a line from the city that we can have trickling in if the city gets to a point where it can afford to, we can restock
Awesome.
our water.
Good job, guys. Chief,
Yes, sir.
excellent work, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, good point. At the EOC, I was fortunate, there is a way to tie into the main inlet at the EOC building. We're just going to have to excavate underneath that existing driveway without tearing up any concrete, so we can tie it in pretty well.
Good.
Definitely need it, though.
Absolutely. And the good thing about the EOC, it's hot funds money, and it's not coming out of the quote regular budget. So
Correct.
that's a good thing. And it's understood there'll be a few little cost differences because of the connections or something between them, but I think it's a great project. Good idea.
Commissioner, if I can be clear on the way this project's going to work, as far as infrastructure goes, it will be not hooked up to the building with electricity or plumbing until there's an emergency.
Right.
So we'll be able to, basically, if you will, a generator-type cord, be able to provide electricity, and the same with a flexible 3-inch water line into the existing inlet, and then cut off the valves and bring water in that way.
Right. When it's
So it
needed,
it won't be affixed to the facility until there's an emergency, so we'll be able to affix it.
good.
And it won't be a lock type plug that we
Yeah.
connect to it and get
Good
going.
deal. Excellent work. Excellent. Commissioner, Chief, y'all
With
did
that
good.
total figure, I don't know whether we figured it out. You figured?
My total is $85,797.
Why don't we
Did
approve?
anybody else do math? Because I'm notoriously bad.
We ought to approve 100 then, so.
Well, it's 100 in the budgeted money.
Okay, we've already got
And
it.
then some of the other monies we're going to use to fill the tank to start with.
Gotcha.
Not using city water. So there's cushion in there enough to order the tankers of water once it's complete.
Okay.
So
Just the
not to
preliminary
exceed-
bid that we have for potable water, I believe is a 6,000-gallon tank, and that's $900 a tank. Isn't that
Correct.
what it was, Commissioner? I think it was.
Yes, sir.
And so at a 45 or 47,000 capacity, with 44,000 usable gallons in the tank, what's that calculation?
Well, not to exceed 100,000. And then we should be within bounds on the water.
And if it comes up different, we'll take appropriate action.
Okay, so my
Very good.
motion is to approve this project going forward.
I'll
We've
second
already
that.
approved it, but to
Second.
approve the final numbers.
Second.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Deputy. Commissioner Farias for your motion, Commissioner DeWitt for your second. Any further discussion?
Just one note of interest, instead of buying the water, maybe some of our local water districts are willing to donate the water from their wells. The only challenge would be is finding the transportation to get it from point A to point B.
Well, to get it to be potable water, for them to bathe with and wash and
Mm-hmm.
do dishes, might be a question about where we get it from. So we
Well-
get it from a licensed source that's already
And
approved.
we've got a certificate we can
with-
put
yeah,
right here in
we've
the
got to have
drawer.
that certificate.
I know like Skidmore and also it's all potable water, so it's all approved, so,
We can
Good
look,
idea.
yeah.
we can look at all, whatever choices we have. We just want to make sure we stay within bounds. TECQ has given us their blessing on this, so that's another big plus.
Good job, Commissioner. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Agenda item number 18, set public hearing date pursuant to Texas Transportation Code, Chapter 253, entitled County Improvement of Subdivision Roads, Vernon's, 2003, to consider reduction in speed limit and replacement of 30 miles per hour MPH speed limit sign to 25 miles per hour speed limit sign with red border on CR 6002.
So, yeah, Judge, thank you. That road is located there in Skidmore, and would like to lower that speed limit down to 25. 30 is a bit excessive. So I wrote it, and also the Road and Bridge Administrator wrote it as well. So we just need to set a date.
Be December the 8th at 10:30.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. That's a good
Is that your
deal.
motion, Commissioner, to set the public hearing date for December 8th, 2025 at 10 a.m.?
Yes, it is.
Well, I've
Or
got
no, sorry,
10:30.
10, yeah,
10:15.
10:30.
10:30. I'll second.
We've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes without exception. Thank you, gentlemen. Agenda item number 19, we already addressed. Agenda item number 20, approved memorandum of understanding between the Sheriff's Office and the District Attorney's Office for the use of 2009 Ford Expedition vehicle identification number 3329.
Move to approve.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Love to see our local elected offices working with each other. Thank you, Sheriff, for your continued support of our other departments. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Agenda item number 21, approve Office of the Governor Public Safety Office, CEO, Law Enforcement Certifications and Assurances Form for the District Attorney's Office.
I don't know what is it, but I'll make a motion to approve it.
Veronica?
Where do we go from there?
What is it?
I think we need a presentation.
What is it?
I guess I'll second so we can have discussion.
There you go.
Well, motion and
Good
second,
morning.
please tell us what we're doing.
Hi, good morning.
Thank you,
Veronica
Judge.
Saldana from the District Attorney's Office. This is for our BPU grant. It was one of the forms that needed to be signed by the county judge and by the district attorney that has not yet gotten signed. So that's all it is. It's a certification
Hey,
for
now.
Border Prosecution
Yeah.
Unit. I know, I didn't
Smile,
put the
Judge.
agenda item in, so I'm not sure why I didn't have like BPU in parentheses, but that's what it's for.
Not a problem at all. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? I don't hear any further discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Thank you, Ms. Saldana. Agenda item number 22, approve B County resolution authorizing submission of grant application number 5623101 for State Homeland Security Program, SHSP, and Urban Area Security Initiative, UASI, supporting border crisis response and enforcement projects to the Office of the Governor. I'm not sure whose agenda.
Sheriff, is this
Oh,
yours?
Sheriff Aguirre.
Move to approve.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Sheriff. Agenda item number 23, approve MOU between the Department of Public Services of the State of Texas and the B County Sheriff's Office.
Move to approve.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second. We're really cooking with gas now, fellows. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Agenda item number 24, approve request to use county credit card for all hotel accommodations and all registration fees for the Texas School Assessors Association Conference on March 27th through April 1st, 2026 for Michelle Mattis, Cindy Carrasco, and Regine Govea.
Move to approve.
Second.
I've-
Okay, so we need to hold it, or we need to table until we get?
I think we could probably go ahead and just, they give her the hotel. Yeah.
Okay.
It is the Embassy Suites in San Marcos.
Very good, Judge.
A motion and a second to approve the use of the county credit card for all hotel accommodations and all registration fees for this conference located at the Embassy Suites in San Marcos. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for that clarification as well. Agenda item number 25, approve request to use county credit card from Justice of the Peace Precinct 4 for hotel fees and registration for the annual Experienced Judges 20-hour conference on November 30th through December 3rd, 2025 at San Luis Resort, Galveston, Texas.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
Sounds pretty fancy. Sure there's a Days Inn or an Embassy Suites close by. No, it's a wonderful, wonderful location for a conference. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Agenda item number 26, approve request to use the county credit card from the Auditor's Office for the County Management and Risk Conference in March 2026 at Kalahari Resorts.
Resorts. Move to approve.
I've got a motion, I have a second.
I comment.
Yes, sir.
I would just like for the public to know that even though these sound exotic, this is where the conferences are, and we stay where the conferences are instead of driving back and forth. So we don't have a whole lot of choice. Thank you.
And the hotel rates are really discounted.
They have
for
excellent
the
rates.
county.
They've gotten hotel rates. They book them in, so very reasonable.
Comparable to the Embassy Suites.
Days in.
And that's part of what these folks that put on these conferences, which are incredibly important for your county government to get updates on state law, federal law, new policies, new procedures, new ideas on how to be more efficient, to provide greater service to the community. That's where our local folks get that information. And so the conference folks want to put these events on at locations that will I guess act as a honeypot to attract more participants. So the more folks that participate, the better exchange of ideas. So although I feel kind of bad making a little catty remark about the San Luis
Well,
Resort now that you
Something else we have to realize too, that we are required, each one of us is required to have so many CEUs every year, or we lose our certifications and we be unelected, if you will. So we don't really have a choice we have to go to these.
That's right.
We
And
really-
we want our elected officials and department heads and staff to attend these.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is really important that our folks get out there and see what other folks are doing.
Absolutely.
All good points. Any further discussion? Hearing, that may be the most discussed credit card approval agenda item in the history of B County. There's no further discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Agenda item number 27, approve renewal of the 2025-2026 Guardian Household Membership Agreement between Halo Flight and B County.
So moved.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? I will say, Halo Flight had approached me, and did you compare this number with what we've budgeted? Okay. I want to move forward with approving this agenda item. Halo Flight has asked for a small additional level of support from the county if for any reason the county, what's that? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I think this may be something a little bit separate from what I'm talking about. But we're staunch supporters of Halo Flight. B County is so incredibly fortunate that Halo Flight has a physical facility in our county over at our county hospital. And they fly. They're utilized a lot coming and going from B County. So I can't tell you how much I personally and this Commissioners Court appreciates the local presence and the efforts of Halo Flight. So did I get a motion and a second on that one? I forgot. I did. Thank you. Any further discussion? This is our last chance, last agenda item. Anybody want to jump up on a soapbox?
If you want to,
Go ahead, Commissioner.
do y'all know how Halo Flight got here?
I don't.
Just a few seconds and I'll tell
Can't
you.
leave now.
one day I was the only commissioner in the courthouse, and I got a call from the hospital, and they said, is there someone who can come to the hospital and talk to Halo Flight? I said, okay. I said, I'll be happy to. What's going on? No, you need to come here and talk to us. I went to the hospital, and they proposed bringing Halo Flight to B County. What did I think? I said, I think it's a great idea. I said, I think we'll take it to Commissioner's Court, and we'll charge you all $1 a year. Where would you like to put it? We'd like to put it right here. That's how it happened. It was just a chance. I happened to be in the courthouse at that day. Hospital called, said, need you to come over right now. Then Halo Flight decided, because of hurricanes, one thing or another, we need a maintenance facility. We can take care of that. You were on the court then when you did that.
Yes, sir.
And we got with them and said, okay, where would you like to put it? Right over here. Okay, put it right here. So we're very fortunate to have Halo Flight. They are anchored now in B County. The Commissioner's Court approved everything. It's been a good thing, Judge. It's been very good, very good. And what they found out, they didn't realize how opportune it's going to be. They'd been flying out of Corpus, and because of the fog and everything down there, it is working much, much better here. So
Excellent.
that's the history on Halo Flight.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Yes, sir.
That was good. Any further discussion? Last opportunity.
No.
Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. We have no executive session items on the agenda today. Moving on to agenda item number 28, adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
I've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Last chance. Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. We are adjourned. Thank you all for your patience, your insight, and your efforts on today's meeting.
Question, who do we give this contract to make the changes? Who did the contract for
Don't forget
the,
to sign that.
I know.
Man, you got
the
hammered on
brush,
that
the
thing.
brush with carpenter?
For the county judge.